So Mel Kiper Jr. believes Zach Wilson is going to be the next superstar. Tony Romo said he believes in 3 to 4 years we'd be talking about him in the same way we're talking about Patrick Mahomes. Yes, it's hyperbole. We don't know how true it's going to be. But Tony Romo put it out there, and he didn't care who knew it.
Look, Tony played the position, so he certainly knows what he's looking for in a quarterback. Now, the one thing that I would say about Zach Wilson is what got him in trouble at BYU at times is holding on to the football and taking punishment. He was often injured at BYU. Is this going to be the same thing that happens to him with the New York Jets? If he can stay healthy and they can surround him with weapons and keep him clean, then he can make all the throws and do the right things, then he will be mentioned, like Tony Romo said a couple years from now, with the best in the league.
I have no problem with somebody forecasting that Zach Wilson could potentially be one of the best quarterbacks in the league when it's all said and done. I watched the kid when he's at BYU. I've watched him in preseason. He looks pretty special. I hope he can sustain that. Whenever you start putting one player's name in the conversation with a player like Patrick Mahomes, who, I mean, is wild to me, right? Because Mahomes through 4 seasons has thrown for 14,000 yards, 114 touchdowns, an MVP, a Super Bowl, and a Super Bowl MVP. Like, that puts you in a different rarefied air. And you start thinking about, what did Patrick Mahomes, what kind of weapons did he come into this league with? And then I look at the Jets and I say, okay, maybe the ability is there, but like the weapons aren't there. You have a first-year head coach. You have a second-year GM. You won 2 games last year. So I would just tell people it's great that Tony Romo could think this way, but we have to make sure that we give pause and we are patient for Zach Wilson to pan out. Because when somebody says something like this, we expect that type of play right out of the gate, and then we start throwing around terms like, well, I told you he wasn't going to pan out, or I don't know if he's the guy, right? So it takes a minute to build into being something special. I don't know if that happens right out of the gate.
The last thing that any Jets fan needs, and Keyshawn, you play with this organization, is hyperbole about your quarterback.
Thank you.
That
Less is more for Zach Wilson.
An organization. That's the last thing a fan base needs. And believe me, the one thing that both of you guys mentioned, the one word you guys mentioned, weapon. The most underrated weapon that's happened to Patrick Mahomes has been Andy Reid. Not too many guys come into a league having an offensive mindset. Him and Eric Bieniemy as an offensive coordinator, where you can sit for a year, Alex Smith playing behind him, and that wasn't a bad idea, and then you're ready to take the reins. We could have that conversation with Zach Wilson if he was part of the Kansas City Chiefs, or with Kyle Shanahan with the San Francisco 49ers. I get what Tony Romo is trying to do. He believes in Zach Wilson. But when you put him,
there's nothing wrong with that.
No. I'd rather him compare him to Zach Wilson than some nobody to third-string quarterback. I don't have a problem with that. The deal with that is, though, if you're Zach Wilson, you're thinking, dude, I got enough to deal with in New York. I don't need you putting that on me with this star-crossed organization when it comes to that position with the New York Jets.
You know, it's so funny, Freddie, you mentioned Andy Reid, and as you mentioned it, I thought to myself, I said, when was the last time Andy Reid had a bum at quarterback?
That's fair. That's fair.
Like literally, and what I mean by that, just go back to Philadelphia. Donovan McNabb, right? Borderline Hall of Famer, depending on who you asking and arguing with, is, in my opinion, at some point maybe he gets the votes to get in because he was a hell of a player. But when you think about it, he turned Detmer into something. He made him money.
True.
Cobb Cobb from Houston, they drafted. He turned him into something, made him some money. He went on to Arizona and turned into nothing. A.J. Feely, I think it was the quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. He turned him into something for a short period of time. Who else was there? Oh, Jeff Garcia went to Philly. He turned him into something, made him some money. I'm just thinking Michael Vick, he turned him back into something, made him into some money. Alex Smith turned him into something, made him some money. I'm like, there's a recurring theme
Andy Reid
that the New York Jets don't have. And that's Andy damn Reid. So it's kind of like, you know, I get it. I understand it. Maybe Mike LaFleur could be that guy in calling plays and teaching the quarterback. Maybe that could be the case. But he's got a long ways to go in a short time to get there.
Let's just have him, if he plays similar to how Justin Herbert played last year, he's well on his way.
I'm not expecting that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If he's Justin Herbert, Yeah, then that's Justin Herbert played like a vet.
If he plays like Justin Herbert, they're going to put a statue out MetLife Stadium.
But that sounds like a reasonable expectation, though, right?
No, it's not reasonable.
That's not reasonable.
No, because Justin Herbert
Jay.
overexceeded those expectations. People thought he was going to be good or decent. Nobody expected that from Justin Herbert.
I mean, if Zach Wilson gets Offensive Rookie of the Year, you don't think that's feasible?
If he gets Offensive Rookie of the Year, he should retire. It may not get any better for him.
And Justin Herbert was one of the top 6 quarterbacks in the NFL last year, despite statistics. I'm just talking about play. Damn the statistics. I'm just talking about the way he was playing. He was one of the top 6 dudes.
Okay.
Yeah, Justin Herbert looked different the minute he got the ball in his hands. When the whole thing happened with Tyrod Taylor of the Chargers and that whole medical thing, and they miscommunicated whatever that was, they put him in there.
No, it wasn't a miscommunication. It was I hit you in the wrong spot.
Whatever that was, Justin Herbert hit the right spot after that. I would not have.
So wait, Freddie. So who's a quarterback that played last year? If you said, "Hey, Zach Wilson played like this guy," then we're okay. A mid pack of the guy.
Mid pack of the guy. If he plays like Baker Mayfield. The first half of the season. First half of the season. Because the Browns have the best offensive line in football.
But they ran the hell out of the ball with Nick Chubb and the way they play.
But when Baker Mayfield had to make plays, he had 26 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. And when the Pittsburgh Steelers made mistakes in that first playoff game, Baker Mayfield turned that into touchdowns. That's what you want Zach Wilson to at least come close to. Justin Herbert, the way he played last year, guys, that was a different level as a rookie, especially when nobody saw that coming. If you put that kind of pressure on Zach Wilson, I know Tony Romo was trying to do. I just think you're asking for trouble. You're a Jets fan to believe that hyperbole from Tony Romo.
I don't need him to play like Baker Mayfield because Baker Mayfield led his team to the playoffs. I need him to play. If you want to look at comps, give me what Joe Burrow gave.
I'll take that.
Just give me that.
Well, Joe Burrow was on his way to do pretty well. I mean, before he tore his ACL.
No, I'm saying that's good for a rookie. What Joe Burrow was able to do. Give me that. Just give me some of that, and I'm happy with that.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.